Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic and happy Independence Day. Now, if you're thinking, well, it isn't Independence Day in my country, that's because you're not Indian. This puzzle has come in from Deba Brata, who is celebrating the Indian independence, which occurred on the 15th of August, 1947. And the colours are indicative of that. As you probably know, the Indian flag has strips of orange, white and green, and a blue wheel symbol in the middle. So that is what's going on in this puzzle. And you may wonder, as you may have done last time we featured a puzzle by Deba Brata, how can there possibly be so few digits given in the grid? How can this have a unique solution? And those are very valid questions, and we'll be trying to seek the answer as we try and solve the puzzle. So I'll be having a go at this in a moment. I'll tell you the rules, actually. Well, there is a very important rule that may allow this to be solvable, but my goodness, it's not something I'm going to feel comfortable with dealing with. Anyway, let me tell you first about Patreon. So there are still 5 days left to have a go at the No Trump Game Sudoku Hunt on Patreon. It is based on playing cards, and there are a number of puzzles there for you to try, and all variant Sudoku, of course, and all different. So give it a try. Those are interesting puzzles. Now, we've also on Patreon got gridogram and connections videos and some tricky crossword videos too, and other stuff occasionally as well. So do have a look there. The cryptic crossword videos, of course, supplement what we do on the main channel, Friday Crossword Masterclasses. We also stream most weeks. We do Minute Cryptic and Wordle in a Minute every day, as well as our 2 Sudoku videos. So trying to bring you as much content as we possibly can and hoping you enjoy it all. We've also, of course, got our apps, and they bring you even more content, lots more Sudoku to solve. We do have a Miracle Sudoku app, which is possibly the most relevant to today's, and not one that I often trail, so good chance to mention it. There's a classic Sudoku too, and the Worms as well. We have a bit of merch. You could get yourself a mug, like my Cracking the Cryptic mug here, or there's t-shirts and caps and hoodies and water bottles and the normal sorts of thing that you can get, including Marty Sears Wrap Run merch. Check it all out on the links under the video, where the first link is to this puzzle. And I'm going to go through the rules now. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So 1 to 9 will go in every row, that's not a column, every column and every 3 by 3 box. Orthogonally adjacent cells must have a difference of at least 3. For example, 2 and 4 can't be next to each other, but 2 and 5 can be. And we're nearly done now. The blue cell contains an even number. The colouring of orange, white and green and this square, they're just cosmetic. This blue is an even number. And other than that, we get these 5 given digits and this rule, and we're meant to be able to solve the puzzle. I have no idea how this is going to go, but do give it a try. Let's get cracking. Oh my goodness. Okay, 7 cannot sit next to 5, 6, 8 or 9. They're all too close. That is quite a good bunch. I mean, the trouble is you look at 1 and it's only 2 and 3 that are ruled out of its cells. So I'm not going to pencil mark those, but I am going to pencil mark these, which since 4 has already gone in the box, must be from 1, 2 or 3. That looks like the only place in the box where there's, no, this will be in the puzzle where there's some traction. This will be quite good. 5 can't go next to 7, 6, 5, 4 or 3. It can only go next to 1, 2, 8 or 9. So we've already had the 1. These are from 2, 8 and 9. Now that's quite interesting. So here's something to think about those cells. If you were to put 2 in one of those and 8 in the other, what possible digit could you put here? I mean, that really is interesting. I don't think there are any. if you can't put 5 there, which obviously does work between 2 and 8, the digits that are far enough away from 2 are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The digits that are far enough away from 8 are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the only overlap is 5. So this is not a 2-8 pair, and we do have something to go on then. The annoyance is that if I could say this wasn't a 2-9 pair, I would know it was definitely an 8-9 pair. But a 2-9 pair would allow a 6 to sit here. I mean, this is a very odd look for the puzzle. These were both low, and annoyingly, they allow this cell, which they both see, to be lots of things. Maybe this cell is better. I mean, what do I mean by that? If that's a 1-2 pair, this could be 5, 6, 8, or 9. In fact, I'm going to put them in. It's only 4 candidates. This is actually better, isn't it? That precludes this being a 1. The fact that it's 4 rules out 2, 3, 5, and 6. And it can't be 7 or 8. Ah, this digit is a 9, and I've found a digit in the puzzle. I'm quite proud of that. I mean, it's not hard when you look at the cell. But now the trouble is, this is unconstrained virtually. Well, I mean, not completely, but it could even be 6. Actually, it can be any digit that it doesn't see. That the rule doesn't make any difference given that 9 thing. Maybe where's the 3rd digit out of 1, 2, 3 in this box? Because it's not allowed to be here. That would be too close to that one. So it's either there or there. Ah, this connection is nearly very interesting. This is all about identifying interestingly connected cells, I think. If this wasn't from 1, 2, 3, it would be from 5, 6, 8, and this pair would have to be a 5, 8 pair. Now that is possible. But it does mean this digit isn't 6. Is that any use? No, not really. I'm very worried I've completely shot my bolt and like there's nowhere else to look for good stuff in the puzzle. I'll tell you why this... No, I was going to say why that can't be 5 either, but that's wrong. 5 can be next to 8. This could never be 6 because 8 would be in one of those cells. Never mind about this one. I don't know what I'm talking about now. Let's just look at this, which can't be 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 by virtue of the rule, or 7 by Sudoku. So that is 1, 8, or 9. And it is at least in a new box, but not a box where we have any information. Apart from this useless blue cell. I mean, you could say, where's 7 and 6? Where's 7 in the row? It's not there, and it's not touching the 8, but that still leaves those places. 6, also not here or here. I suppose we could fill those in as 1, 2, 3, or 5, and this one sees the 1 in its column. Oh, this is going to be very hard to make any progress away from the givens. These also can't be 6, 7, 8, or 9. I don't know. I'm going to have to find some sort of general holistic thing that constrains how digits can occur. Okay, here's a interesting thought. If 5 was in the center of a 3 by 3 box, what could touch it? The only digits that could touch a 5 are 1, 2, 8, and 9. I mean, that also applies. So, I mean, this can't be a 5 because 1, 2, 8 and 9 can't go there because one of them is needed here. I bet you this can't be a 4 either. The digits that can surround 4, again, there's 4 of them. They're 1, 7, 8 and 9, and they can't sit here because one of them is needed here. So this, that is quite interesting. This digit is not 5 or 4. I mean, you may say that's not really narrowing it down much, and I can't deny that you're right. It could be 6. These would have to be selected from 1, 2, 3, 9, and that could then be 8. And this would definitely be 4. Well, that would have to be surrounded by 1 and 9. I mean, my goodness. For that, I know I wasn't really speculating on could this cell be a 6 before, but it's very, very constrained if it is. If that's a 6, these are 1, 2, 3, 9. That's an 8. This is a 4. That's 5. This is 7. The 9 is then going to have to go here. And that's next to the 8. Okay, I mean, it does break down, but it's a bit complicated. I'm just going to show you what I've just seen in my head. If that's 6, these have to be 1, 2, 3, 9. That makes this cell 8. That makes this even digit a 4. 5 and 7 are mandated by this 7 here. And now where can 9 go? It's not allowed in those cells by this, and it's not allowed in those because it's too near 7 or 8. So that is impossible, but who cares in a way? Now I know this digit can't be 4, 5, 6 or 9, but that still leaves plenty of things it can be that I don't think put quite so much pressure on. Let's just try with 7, which is a bit constrained because it can't be 9, 8, 6, 5. These would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4. These would have to be 5, 6, 8, 9. Maybe there is something about how a box can act, actually. This is quite interesting. Let's look at this box. If this digit was a 3, that is going to mandate all of these. They're going to have to be 6, 7, 8, 9. And the 5 in this box then would have to go in one of these cells. But it would only be allowed to touch 8 and 9 out of 6, 7, 8, 9. So it would have to go there. If this was a 3, you'd have 5, 8, 6, 1 and 2. Okay, I mean, that does work, but it's very constrained, and that's if this digit is a 3. The trouble is 2 and 1 have fewer mandated contiguous digits. 2 only can't touch 1, 3 and 4. So these could be anything from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know, it's still quite interesting to avoid these. If that's 2, 3 of these digits are 5, 6 and 8, aren't they? 2 of which go in these cells. But only 5 and 8 of those can touch each other. So this couldn't be one of 5, 6, 8. One of them would have to be there, and that would be a 5, 8 pair. If this was 2, and that would be 6, and this would be 1, 3. Okay, I'm going to bother to think about if this is 1 in the center. Then these can be from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If that's 1, 2 and 3 have to be in the corners, not touching it. But now, I mean, there's still this issue about 5, 6, and 8. If that's 1, 3, I mean, it's exactly the same. So I worked out if this is 3, I mean, it's the same deal. It's the same deal, whether it's 3, 2, or 1. Think about 5, 6, and 8 in these 3 cells. They cannot go in this group because 6 will be touching one of the others. Because 4 has gone in the box, whatever this is, this digit is 5, 6, or 8. This can't be 1, 2, or 3 because it will be too close. I should have marked that up. So it is just a special for this box alone that this digit cannot be 5, 6, or 8, or 6 will be touching something too close. So that is from 5, 6, or 8. And this pair now has to be a 5, 8 pair, and this digit is a 6. And apparently I should have been able to work this all out. Now, 9 can't be next to 8. Indeed, we've got an 8 given there. So this is all actually done to this extent. And now I can't decide between 1, 2, and 3. But these 6 digits are complete. And now I can't put 5 in these cells. This can't be a 6, 7 pair. Indeed, this digit can't be 6 or 7 because it would be too close to 5. So 6 and 7 are there. And this one is 1, 2, I was going to say or 3, but 3 would be too close to 5. So 3 is definitely in one of these cells touching the 8. I am very surprised that we've got even that far. Now, let's try, he said hopefully, and extend it a bit. This digit is interesting. This is 6 or 7. Oh, look, 7 and 8 are already ruled out of here. 8's in one of these cells. I was going to say, so is 7. That's not quite necessarily true. If this was 6, though, look at that 7. 7 would have to be in one of these cells. 7 and 8 would have to be kept apart with a 6 there. Now, where would 9 go? It couldn't touch 7 or 8. It would have to go in the middle. And these would be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One side could have 2, 5. One side could have 1, 4. And this digit would have to be a 3. That's so strange. If this is a 6, this has to be a 3. What about if this is a 7? This digit can't be 9, 8, 7, 6, or 5. It would have to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. It couldn't be 4 because 6 still has to go in the box. Right. This central digit cannot be 5 because that's too close to these. It can't be, I'm not ruling out 9. I'm not ruling out 9. I'm ruling out 8 and 7. I'm ruling out 6 because that's too close to this digit. I'm ruling out 5 because that's too close to this digit. I'm ruling out 4 for the slightly more clever grounds that it would then have to touch 6 in the box in one of those cells. So this digit is either 9, and I really hope it's not, or it's 1, 2, or 3. Now, if this was 9, that would have to be 6. 8 and 7 would have to be kept apart down here. I think these sides couldn't have 3 in, or it would be too close to something else. So that would be 3. And that would be 3. And, this would be interesting. There is something going on here, isn't there? So if this was 9, this would be 3. So the 3 in this box is definitely in one of these cells, because either this is part of a 1, 2, 3 triple where 3's in one of those two, or that's 3. Now let's imagine this is 1, 2, 3. The other digits I have to fit in are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What are the issues there? 7 can only touch 4 in that sequence, and 6 can only touch 9. So 7 and 6 could never go in these cells because they would be touching 2 cells in this group. So if this was to come to pass with a 1, 2, 3 triple there, 7 and 6 would be confined to these cells. They can't both be here or that breaks this. So 7 would be there, 6 would be in one of these, and 6 would have to be touching 9, which would be in one of these cells. What else did I say? 7 would be touching 4. Oh no, 7 would be here. 6, 9. And the others would be 4, 5, 8, where 4 and 5 can't touch. So 8 would be in a corner. So the corners would be 8 and 9 in that situation of this being low. If this is high, a 9, that's a 6, and these are 8 and 7. So these are definitely from 7, 8, 9, and include an 8. That is intriguing and absolutely freakish. These are the only possible positions for 9 in the box. This one is not a position for 8, in fact. Yeah, there really are some quite strong ramifications. Oh, we've had 8 looking at this cell. Slightly interesting. It's very hard to get away from this box now. I don't want to. I want to know if that's a 1, 2, 3 triple or if this is a 9. Now, if this was a 9, that has to be 6. And then we worked out this has to be 3. We'd have a 5, 4 pair here, sitting under a respective 1, 2. That would be 3, that would be 7. That 3, what would that be sitting next to here that wasn't 1, 2, 4, 5, 8 or 7? It would be 6 or 9. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I wish I did know. Okay, I'm just going to move up here and think about this bit. Now I've understood the kind of wheel of trouble that you get into in individual boxes. If this was an 8, and I haven't fully understood it, but I've understood some things about it, then these cells could be selected from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But 1 is there. So if that's an 8, these are 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 9, and this is a 6, 7 pair in that situation. And what can they touch? 6 can't touch 4. 7, wow, that's quite interesting in itself, because that means 6 will put 4 and 9's move away from it. And the 7 doesn't have so many problems. it does mean if this is an 8, that's a 9. That's quite interesting. What if this is a 9? Does that make this an 8? These digits then can come from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Or no, or 6. If that's a 9, can this be a 2? That's the question I should be really asking. If that's a 9 and that's a 2, these are 3, 4, 6. These are a 7, 8 pair. Neither 7 nor 8 can touch a 6 in any of these cells. So it doesn't work. What doesn't work? For this to be a 9-2 pair. I think I might just have proved that these don't include a 2, but I'm going to have to recapitulate that proof. Okay, let's try and think about it again. If there is a 2 in one of these cells, let's talk about if this is a 2. Then these... No, let's start with if this is a 9. I'm going to fill in the numbers because I think I've proved that this won't work. For that to be a 9 and this to be a 2, these can't be from 8 and 7. These would be 8 and 7. But 6 would have to go in one of these cells touching 7 or 8, which is illegal. So that couldn't happen. Could it be 8 there and 2 here? These would have to, well, these would be 9 and 7. And indeed, where would 6 go then? That's completely impossible. That's miles away from being possible. Hang on, maybe it's not. No, it is impossible, not because 6 can't touch 9, which it can, but because 6 can't touch 8. So that is also impossible. Now the other thing to prove is that it's impossible for 2 to be in the center. I don't know if I did prove this before. That would make this digit 8 or 9. These would have to be selected from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that would be the set of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This would be a 3, 4 pair. Maybe I haven't ruled this out. Maybe I didn't think this through. That would have to be a 9, 6 pair because these cells would be 9, 8, 7, 6, and 9, 6 are the only pair there that can coexist next to each other. So it would go 9, 6, 3, 4, 7, 8. Right, this can be a 2. This one can't be a 2 because we've worked out 9, 2 and 8, 2 are impossible. So this is a height. That's weird that one of them can be a 2 and not the other. But there we go. That's what is the truth. Right. Can this be an 8 at all? That looked like it was under pressure, even with a 9 here to me. So if this was an 8, 7 and 6 would have to be in these cells. 4 would have to not be touching the 7. So that would be a knight's move away from the 4. 3 and 2, no, I mean, that's all right. Okay, this can still be an 8 as long as that's a 9. We've now got 2 out of the 3 digits from 7, 8, 9, and that is no use at all. This digit, by the way, is an even digit, and it can't be 8 anymore. So that is 2, 4, or 6. I can tell that that means none of these cells are a 4, because either they'd be sitting with a 4, or they'd be touching a digit too close. This digit can't be a 4 because it's too close to 5. So the only places for 4 in this box are in those 2 cells, which is a little strange. Not maybe powerful enough to hang a solution on. If this digit was a 4, I was going to go, where do 6 and 7 go in the column? It's only 6 that can't touch 4. 6 would have to go in one of those cells. And then 7 would have to go in one of those two. And although that's all a bit strange that those positions would be mandated, it's not impossible. Maybe I need to think about this being 3 or 7, which are quite constrained. So if this was 3, these couldn't be from 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I've got that. No, I've got those numbers wrong. They couldn't be from 1, 2, 4, 5. So these would have to be 1, 2, 4, 5. That would be 5. That would be 1. That would be 2. That would be 4. This would be a 6, 9 pair, and this would be a 7, 8 pair, and whatever that was, being 7 or 8, would be too close to that digit. So this is not 3, and that's quite complicated to prove. If this was 7, these would be 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd then have a 6 here. That would have to be 9. That would be 8. This would be 5. Wow, I mean, goodness me, it looks like that's possible, but it's difficult. If this was a 7, these would be, what did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I've got it the wrong way around. If that was a 7, these would be 5, 6, 8, 9. You'd have 5 here, 6 here, 9 here, 8 here. 7 in the middle. I think that could be made to work, sadly. If that was a 7, this would be 8, though. That's quite interesting. This is a very hard puzzle to think your way around. It really is. Nothing is coming easy in this. This digit can't be 2 or 3, so 2 and 3 are confined to these cells, and they have to be kept apart from each other. I don't know, there's some generic thing about what you have to keep apart from. Oh goodness, I don't know how to solve it, but I can see there are major constraints. Let's just think about this digit being a 4. This couldn't be 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. It would be 1, 7, or 9. No, it couldn't be 7 in that position next to 5. So it would be 1 or 9. One of the easy to hide extreme digits. It really is about these central cells, isn't it? Something is definitely happening in the puzzle about those. I'm sorry, I know I'm not being very smart about this, but it is very difficult. maybe one way to think about it is we know that 8's in one of these cells. We still have to accommodate 7 and 9 in this box. One of them can go in the other of these cells. But the other has to either be 7 there or 9 here. One of those is definitely true. And that is quite interesting. It's not something I've seen before. If this is 7, I believe this has to be 9. If that's 7, no, that's wrong. If that's 7, this is an 8-9 pair. Oh, why? Okay, then I've got something wrong. That's okay. That's okay. If this is a 7-8 pair down here, that's 6 and that's 9, actually. If this is an 8-9 pair, that's 7. And then this is low. And then 6 couldn't be here next to 8 or here in the row with 6. It would have to be here. Oh, this is quite interesting. And that would force this one to be 9. So if that's 7, this is 9. And this is 8. So this is never 9, this cell. That's quite interesting. Because 6 would have to be here. These would be 5 and 4. And they wouldn't be allowed to have 7 here. Yeah, it would be 9 there and 8 there if this was 7. That's interesting. If this is an 8-7 pair, though, with 6 here and 9 here, then these sides are a 1-4 and a 2-5, and that's 3. That is less easy to say whether something has gone wrong. In the instance where these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits, this can't be 4 or 5. And 4 and 5 would have to be a pair sitting over here, chaperoned away from each other. What about the instance where it's not these that are the one that are all the low digits? That happens when we put 6 here. What happens when we put 7 here, and this is 8, 9? What happens to 4 and 5? Well, then we have to accommodate 6 here next to 9, and this becomes the 4-5 pair. And that's a shame, because that... So this digit is 3, 4, or 5. That's all it can be. Oh, no, look, we've got a 5 up there in the grid. Oh, there's such a difference between 3 or 4. One of them is wrong and one of them is right, and it really matters which is which. One, by the way, is definitely confined to these two cells. That can't be a 1, because that would be 2. So 1's in one of those two cells. This now can't be 2 or 3. I don't know if I ever thought it could. It also can't be 1. Can't be 1, 2, 3, 8, 7, 9, or 6. This is definitely 4 or 5 now. And that's quite interesting in its own right. If this was 4, this would have to be 9, 1, 3, 2. 5, by the way, is definitely in one of these 2 cells. And now this central digit can never be 3 as a result of that, and also as a result of this. In fact, it can never be 2 or 3, given that I've found that is 3 or 4. So the central digit is always 1 or 9. Now, if it's a 1, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 6 being next to 9 there, 7, 8. If it's a 9, this is an 8, 7 pair. Don't know the order exactly. That's 6. This is then a 5, 4 pair. That's 3, and this is 2 and 1. So we would know the 5, 4 pair order. Oh, this is crazy. Okay. So if this is 9, that's going to end up being 5, by the way. Right, so if this is 1, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 can't be next to 5, so it would have to be 7 there, 8 there, 9 here. If this is 9, right, I'm just taking out the corner marks for a moment. I'm just trying to encapsulate what I've learned. If that's a 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5. This is 6 and 9 next to each other. That's 7, that's 8. If this is 9, that's the other alternative here. These are 7 and 8. That's 6. These are 5 and 4. That's 3. These are 2 and 1, and we do know the order, and they sort out the 4 and 5, and they sort out the 8 and 7 as well. That is peculiar. So these corner marks are now the only candidates for these cells, and this one can't be 9 at all. This is 5 or 6, according to what I've just pencil marked, and this one can't be 7. We've got an incredible chocolate teapot non-nupal, if that's the word, of possible digits here. 2 possible conformations of this set of cells, both of which work, and both of which are fully exclusive and resolve a lot of other things. Oh my goodness, but 2, 3, 6, 7, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 9, 5, 6. So I'm going to get rid of the corner marks now. One of these dispositions works and one of them doesn't. And it leaves me, well, it leaves me knowing there's a 5 in one of those cells, for instance. And that's going to put 5 in one of these cells. There's a 2 in one of those. That stops this being a 2. It's not nothing. It's almost nothing that I've discovered there. Eight, 5, and 2 are the digits that are confined to rows. No digits are confined to specific columns. If this is a 3, that's a 3. Then this row goes 7, 3, 8, 4, 9, 5. And this would be 1, 2, 6, where the 6 would have to get in the middle to chaperone apart the 1 and the 2. And that would make this bottom row 459, where the 9's in the middle. Right, in that situation, I'm going to fill in the candidates here. The 6 would be keeping apart the 1, 2, and the 9 would be keeping apart the 4, 5. That's if this was a 3, which forced a 3 into that. If this is a 4, the alternative, then that's 5 and 6. And in that situation, this is a 1. This goes 5, 1, 6, 8, 7. I don't know what this is. And these are then from 2, 3, 4, 9. But the 9 must then go in the middle to keep apart digits from 2, 3, 4. So this central digit is always 6 or 9. Now, if 9 was keeping apart digits from 2, 3, 4 there, in the version where this is a 1, this goes 2, 7, 3 in that version, and this goes 1, 6. So the 6 is definitely in one of these cells. And in that case, this can never be 4, because that would be too close to 6. And 5's always in one of these. Now, if this was 9, 8, 1, 6, 9, and digits from 2, 3, 4, then down here we'd have 5 and 7 being kept apart from each other. So this is either 5, 4 being kept apart or 5, 7. This digit in the middle is never a 5. And if that's 5, 7, 6, 9, 8, this couldn't be 4 or 3 next to 5, so it would have to be 1 or 2. I mean, I'm finding this very, very complex to keep a track of at all. Very difficult. Right, I'm going to just change tack now. I've kind of sucked the marrow out of the possibilities here and here, I think. No, look, I haven't. 5 or 6 there means this can never be 4. That's huge. That means this is a 1, 2, 3 triple, and this is a 4, 5 pair. And that digit is a 3. I haven't sucked any marrows. I'm putting a 3 in here now. And I think this has to be right. That's a 1, 2 pair. And this digit is 9. This one is 6. That's 7. This is 6. And that's going to unwind this whole... Actually, the 3 would have unwound the whole box. But here we go. That box is done. That's a 3. These are 1 and 2 now. I know that 1 goes with 4 and 2 goes with 5, but I don't know in which order. But I have filled a lot of the bottom row. 9 there is looking at this cell and saying you can't be 9. Now earlier I claimed that one of these two had to be 9. I don't know why I did that. If I could rely on that, I'd stick a 9 in here. But I'm going to have to think that through again. Let's say this was an 8 and this was a 2. Something did fall apart about that. If this was an 8 and this was a 2, these would be 3 and 4. We would actually know the order from down here. 2, 3, 4, 8. And 6 and 7 would all be touching 8. That's no good. So this is not a 9. That was what I was checking there. So that's an 8. This is now a 2. That is now Sudoku. Hurrah. This digit can't be 1 or 4, or by the rule, or 8 at all. So that's a naked 7. That's the sort of thing we want to find. 8 in this column can't touch 7 or 6, so it goes in the middle. And these digits are 1 and 4. 4 can't touch 6 by the rule. 4 is there. This blue cell can't be 4. Now we're suddenly underway. Just when I was on the verge of giving up down here, It's all coming. These are a 3-4 pair because neither can touch 2. And this digit is impossible because it's a 6 or a 9 touching 8. And I've failed. That is so depressing. Well, couldn't that have been a 9 in the corner of the box? Why did I not think that could be a 9? Look, 9 is possible. Why was I saying that couldn't be 9? What am I losing my mind here? That's 9. Right, let's go from here again. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay. I decided it was 8. What happens if that's 9? Oh, I don't know if that fixes this or not. Okay, let's start again with what if this is 2? No, what if this is 8? Because that's what I thought was the problem. Yeah, I'm just going to do this again. If this is 8, that's 9. Yeah, we've ruled out 9 by Sudoku now. If this is 8, that's 9. This would have to be 7 and 6. These would be 2, 3, 4. Now maybe that does work. Okay, I did something wrong, but I don't know what it was. There's more I can do though. Oh, bother. I don't know how I'm meant to do the more I can do, but there is more I can do. Right, I'm going to go back and be a lot more careful about this box. We were racing away foolishly on a tide of discovery and incorrectness. Right, let's try again. If this was 8, that would be 9. If this was 2, I'm going to try and prove that this digit is 9. I think I may have proved it a long time ago that one of these two was 9. But this is going to be my attempt to prove it again. If this is 8, that is 9. If this is 2, 3 and 4 have to go here. These digits are from 6, 7, 8, 9, and that has to be a 9, 6 pair within that, and that's always 9. Right, simple. That is a 9, and why I put 8 in there, I don't know. Never mind about that. Now we've got a 1 in one of these cells, a 9 in one of these, and a 5 in one of these. No, this is not informative stuff particularly. We've got to try and work on this thing again. So if that was a 2, these are a 3, well, if that's 2, this is 3 and that's 4. Yeah, actually that's worth doing. If this is an 8, this is a 6, 7 pair, and we know the order of those. So that would be 6, that would be 7. So there are only 2 candidates there and 2 candidates there based on this one. Now, if it was 2, 3, 4 here, that would be 6. That would be 8, that would be 7. I'm going to fill those in. If these were 8, 7, 6, this would be 4 next to the 1. That would be 2, and that would be 3. And look, these have all just turned into pairs. That's absolutely extraordinary. It's not extraordinary in terms of the fact that I think roping is going to be an absolute fundamental of this puzzle, but it is getting there. That's 1, 4, 7. This is 3, 6, 9. And this is now 2, 5, 8. It is not surprising that roping is becoming a fundamental of this puzzle, given that the grid has to all fit together somehow. But it's not the same sets. Well, these may not rope across at all. 594 does down here, but it's 159 up here. So interesting. Anyway, that is 3 or 6. This digit can't be 5. That is 1. This digit can't be 2. That is 6. This can't be 4 or 7. That must be 1. That's a 2, so this can't be 3. That's 4 or 7, so this can't be 6. Okay, that ran out, but that gave me a 1 here, which at least means this digit is now 8 or 9. And that's quite interesting in its own little right. Ah, this can't be 4, because that would make this cell 8. But then this couldn't be anything. 7's too close to 8, and 4 can't reappear in the row. So this is not 4. This is 2 or 6. One of these is a 2 now, definitely. That's interesting. Oh, now this is the only place for 4 in the box. Can't go next to 2 or 6. 4 can't be next to 2 there. This is 1, 7 or 8 in the center. This digit can't be 1, 4, 5 or 8 by Sudoku. 3, 6 or 7 by the rule. So it's 2 or 9. Right, now I have to think about this whole box generally. One of these 3 is a 7. If that's a 6, this is 7. And then 8 and 9 in the box. Excuse me a second, I'm just going to pause. Sorry, my phone call has ended with the promise of another call in 10 minutes, but I'd like to get on with this puzzle because it is fascinating and we're getting somewhere and I'm quite excited. Now, I can't remember quite what I was looking at. This being 9 would make this 5. That's not interesting. This being 9 would make this 8. Oh, this can't be 2 next to 4. That must be a 9. That's obvious. That's 8. This is 5 now. That's just Sudoku. I like it when it's Sudoku. I sort of feel I have a chance. Now there's a 9 in one of those two cells. 9, 4, 8. So what about this then? If this was 7, these cells would have to be 6 and 5. And these would be 1, 2, 3. Actually, that seems very possible. This can't be 8. That's very clear. If this was 1, these would have to be 2 and 3. So this is always 3 or 5 now at this point. If that was 1 and these were 2 and 3, these would be 5, 6, 7. The 5 would have to go here next to the 8. That would be 6 and that would be 7. Right, I'm sketching those in. If this was 7, 6, 5, I don't know about 3, 2, 1. Yes, I do, because if that's a 6, that's a 2. And then 2 and 3 would be looking at this cell. So this is always a 1. 2 and 3 in these cells. It's not so obvious to me which way round they would be. But I got a 1-7 pair out of that, giving me, of course, my favourite 2-5-8 vertical trio up here. That one can't be 5, obviously, in the top row. Now, this can't be a 7, so there's a 7 in one of these cells. And that can't be touching 6. I was going to say, so that, no, that doesn't prove anything. But we've got an X-wing on 7s, and we get a 7 into one of these. Oh, 2, 5, 8 there. 4 and 7 must be in this group. And 9 must be, yeah, we know 9's in this group. I mean, I'm sure this is going to be 3, 6, 9, but I have not proved that. Ah, these two are 5 and 2, and we know the order, apparently. They can't have a 3 in because it can't touch either of the others. So we can put, yes, we know 5 and 2 because we know one of those is a 2. Right, 5, 2, that's now 6 in the blue wheel next to 2. That's an 8. This is not 6 or 2, this is 3. 3 can't touch 1, so it touches 7. 1 can't touch 2 up here. We're now resolved on 1 and 2 down here since we got that. This is indeed a 3, 6, 9 triple without 9 at the top. 5 can't sit next to either 6 or 3, so that's a 9. That can't sit next to 8. These are 1, 4, 7. We can't have 1 at the top. This one can't be 4 touching. Oh, it also can't be 7 touching 6 or 5, funnily enough. So 1, 5, 9. Why is that? Oh, it's resolving this. 1 can't be next to 3. 6 can't be next to 8. 8 can't be next to 7. And things are falling into place. This is a 3, 4, 8 triple where 8 must chaperone the 3 and 4. This is also 4, 8, 3 at the top. This is 6, 2, 7. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight. This can't be 9 next to the 8. Actually, neither of these can be 5 next to 3 or 4. So that's a 5 in the middle. And then here we've got 2, 7, 6, where the 2 must separate the 6 and the 7, who are resolved by that. This is a 1, 4, 7 triple, and Sudoku does those. I think Sudoku's going to finish the puzzle. Well, not certain about that. This, I'm going to use this. 4 can't be next to 3 or 6, so that's a 9. Then we've got 5 and 6 here, and they are resolved by Sudoku. That 5 gives me 5, 4. That gives me 4, 3. That gives me 3, 2. There is a bit of a miracle feel about this puzzle, isn't there? That gives me 1, 9. And here we go, 9 and 8. And that is Happy Independence Day to India. And there we go. What an extraordinary puzzle. What a surprise that it's doable. What a fantastic idea. And well done, Deborah Brata, and very much Happy Independence Day to you and all of yours. Happy 15th of August, very auspicious day. I will see you again tomorrow, I hope, for another variant Sudoku. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.